Here we go, crap to cream, part 2 of the MX5 gearbox conversion. So now I have prepared car for engine removal. So I've done everything that I have to do. I've left the exhaust on because this extractor was quite difficult to get in with the engine in place, so I'm going to try and see if I can get it out on the engine. If not, then I can lift the engine, push it over slightly, and then take the extractors off and do it the same way when I come back in again, because it's a bit tight between the engine and the chassis rail. So slave cylinders off. What I do is I put a plate, a little aluminium plate in here, so that when I lift the engine up, typically it's tilted towards the back. So if I don't put that there, then this flange gets caught on here, and then I have to get a jack underneath and jack it up while the car's on the hoist. So if I do that, it just slides over the top when I pull it forward after I've pulled it out of the engine mount. So it's already disconnected, everything's still disconnected. Just got to lift the radiator out when I get up top. That's all done now, so yeah. So the other thing here is, I forgot, I had to take this. You've got to take the steering rack out to get this bolt on the engine mounting up here, inside there. No, I haven't got a torch to hand, but the engine mounting bolt is up there inside. I can think, if you can see my finger through there, it's up there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 4 threads off the end, off both sides, because you have to actually lift the engine to get the nut on, because it won't come off all the way with the engine sitting on its mounts. And also when you're dropping the engine in, the studs are just that little bit too long that it just doesn't drop into the top of the mounts. So I'm going to cut like 4 threads off each end. They have at least half a dozen threads sticking out of the end of the nuts, so that shouldn't be a problem. This side's okay. The right hand side, as you look at it, is okay, but the left hand side, yeah, steering rack off again, and then yeah, I'm going to cut the studs on that to make that good. Alright, I'll drop it down to the floor now. Right, so the engine's let go. As I said, the exhaust manifold's still attached. I've got a couple of nuts on that, but when I lift it up, I'll push it over a little bit, and then I can take the extractors off, I think, and then that'll be done. So what I do with all the bits that I disconnect, I put a yellow cable tie on them, so it reminds me of all the things that I have to reconnect. So you see little yellow cable ties everywhere, so they just remind me of things to reconnect. Just my own little thing that I do. I've taken the distributor out, because last time when I lifted the engine out and I did it with the engine, I cracked the distributor cap, and that cost me another 75 bucks, so I'm not going to do that again. So yeah, all disconnected now, ready to come out. So I'm more likely to lift that out maybe tomorrow. We'll see how we go. I do all my, so here's all my bits, so just sitting there right now, all just waiting to be put back on again. I do my old bagging and tagging, so that all my engine bolts, I know where they all come from, what they are, what I do and I don't need. I don't need the slave cylinder now because I'm changing that over in the gearbox. But yeah, I find if I bag and tag everything, then it makes things a lot easier and I don't lose stuff. I also took some still pictures, so with my other camera. So the video is very good, but the still camera still is very good for what I need to do. So with any luck now, if I just undo this from here, and this should come off here. One good thing about using this Evans waterless coolant, everything just sort of comes apart real easy. So I don't think I'll be using it again There we go, radiator out. So there we go. So everything now ready to lift out. I might take this hose off just as a little bit of a less obstruction, but yeah, that's it. So I'll get the towels over the wings so I don't scrape anything. When I'm lifting this out with the engine hoist, I don't have the rubber mat underneath because the wheels on the hoist dig in, and then you have to jerk things to try and get the thing to get the engine and gearbox to move, and when you jerk it, it rocks around, and I actually caught the edge here somewhere with the back of the overdrive unit when I was pulling it out off over the mat. So I learnt my lesson there. So yeah, only pull on flat concrete. So give it a brush first so there's no sticks, twigs or anything else that can cause it to jerk. So just you lift up and straight out. So yeah, there we go. Nearly there. Engine out tomorrow, and then we'll start looking at fitting the gearbox. So I'm just yeah, following the instructions. Should be quite straightforward, I hope. Thanks for the gentleman who pointed out about the short shift. So I've bought the I've got this gear stick off mine, and what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and take this off here and then mount it on the short shift gear stick when it arrives, so that it sort of tries to retain some of its originality, even though it's a 5-speed gearbox and the reverse is on the other side. But we'll see how that plan goes when I actually do it. Alright, and happy Easter to you all, wherever you are. And thank you very much indeed. And I need one more subscriber for 500. So if somebody wants to do that, that'd be fantastic. I haven't got anything, I've got no incentives for you to do it. It's just I'm halfway to my 1,000, so just need to be great to get to 500. So thank you very much indeed anyway for all the subscribers to date, and all the people who watch, and the constructive comments that I get, and the assistance. It's all really greatly received. Thank you very much. Yep, have a great Easter, and I'll speak to you soon when I get the engine out.